Well, great. It's my pleasure to introduce you to RepSpark, as well as introduce you to RepSpark, if you've talked to us before, some great new features we've released to help the market embrace this wholesale change that we're going through. So my name's Eric Louttit, and I lead sales for RepSpark, and my primary role is helping brands across the footwear and action sports and tactical business adopt new sales strategies and use modern technologies. We're seeing a lot of trends in the industry that I hope to share with you. Some of the topics that we'll cover during this presentation are the current trends we're seeing, the need for a wholesale platform like RepSpark, how there are unique benefits both to brands and retailers to simplify the sales process, from everything from building a virtual showroom to seeing real-time retail inventory in one place. What are some of the key capabilities that's fueling the growth of RepSpark, and how you can utilize the platform to be set up for real-time collaboration and community with your accounts. We'll be walking through two different demos that I'll share with you in a second. First off, let's begin with those factors impacting the wholesale industry. All of us are probably in agreement that as of the middle of this year, that we know the global supply chains are really constrained, and it's unreliable and costly, and the rates are sky high for international shippings, and there's major delays off the major ports. Even here in Southern California, the ships are out there, and it's very scarce for retailers and manufacturers all over, and they're racing right now. Because of these disruptions, the retailers themselves are desperately trying to get a hold of inventory as soon as they can, even before it's available. They've changed their approach from what was a just-in-time to buying inventory for future stock, just to make sure they have adequate supplies, and their ordering has picked up. And they're also reaching out, on top of that, to new suppliers and ordering more from their existing suppliers. So this has caused the industry to take all the products online, because they're having to find more and more places to order those categories, those specific items, and those new products. We're seeing this a reliance on analytics to help both the brands and the retailers in their decision-making process. So because of this high volume of data and the need to manage it effectively and do their inventory forecasting and predictions and sales forecasting on the brand side, you need the data analytics as well. And then lastly, we're seeing, because of this volume and the shift to remote work, we're seeing this, there's a need for increased flexibility among all the parties. And what they're really trying to do is, we've highlighted, is to minimize the cancellations and adjustments that can happen to orders. The worst time is reducing the order or not shipping the order and having to, have cancellations. So that's what they're looking for ultimately. So brands are struggling with this to serve this increased customer demand. They're continuing to use what we see as printed catalogs that are known to be expensive, and they produce them and they're immediately out of date. And for users having a printed catalog, they're mostly impossible to search, and it's hard to filter, and it's cumbersome to create multiple versions for specific customers. So that the lack of digital catalogs is impacting them. This leaves the rep and the buyer with keeping manual notes of the products and desired assortments when they're out on sales calls or they're in Zoom meetings. Capturing the buyer interest across the catalogs is hard it's hard to remember when you're keeping manual notes. So the buyers are looking for new ways to shop online vendor catalogs and lock in that inventory. So they prefer now, buyers we're seeing are starting to prefer more online self-service options, the traditional ones. We've all witnessed banking shifting in the market to online, and we're starting to see that in other industries as well, where the sales reps are becoming more digital than ever before, and they're helping customers. They, as opposed to when they were gathering printed reports and samples and going out on sales calls, preparing in advance for these sales calls with the buyer, meant they had to run reports, get all the samples and all the other point of sale assets together, and it was totally time consuming and manual. And then as they try to sort through all these stacks of files with the customer, they're spending time with the buyer, and they're sorting it through, and then they try to create orders on paper. So these outdated sales solutions are still used in the market, and it's paper forms and printed catalogs. And then we know what it's like for the back end part of the business when those orders aren't placed in time. So the rep makes their sales visits and come back to their office and starts to enter these orders into a system, and they're keying it in, and there's often delays because of that, and getting the information into the system, and then how that impacts delays in shipments. So there's a lot of problems in the existing wholesale industry that are just ripe for improvement. So solutions such as what RepSpark offers are very advantageous to help manufacturers and distributors drive real sales efficiency, and at the same time increase revenue, create meaningful experiences with their customers, have them keep coming back for more. If it's an easy way to order, they're going to do more business with you. If there's friction in the ordering process, they'll probably do less. So in our solution, we tailor it. It can be tailored to meet your brand's needs, and it's accessible anywhere. So the idea of a sales rep going to a visit with a specialty retail customer of yours, or a outdoor retailer, or any other type of resort or pro shop, they now can use a mobile device to go in that wasn't available before. So anyone with a mobile device can use the RepSpark app to easily shop an assortment, look at the previous orders, and place new orders for the customer right on the spot. And that's just really awesome. On top of that, one of the key features of RepSpark is the capability for you to offer your customers a digital catalog, meaning anyone with a web browser can access the catalog, look at full color pictures, enticing descriptions of your product line, what's in inventory, what the variants and styles are, what's possible, get a real line sheet, get a custom order placed with significant unlimited versions of these catalogs. So where printed catalogs are one and done, this allows sales reps to create curated assortments with the customer, and then have the customer have those for their merchandising, and have all the SKUs and product names and everything else all built in so they can refer back to it later, and then place those repeat orders and also shop suggested orders. So now digital catalogs have taken over and replaced paper catalogs. Our solution makes it very easy for our customers to deploy. So it's deployed as a subscription, which means that it's an annual subscription and everything's included, all the support and the software, which allows the brands to get real quick payback in very few months and to get tremendous ROI. So as a sales leader or business owner in the wholesale business, these are really good options so that you don't struggle with a paper-based system or an outdated-based system, and you can reach more customers. We are working across multiple constituents in the value chain, and we've been able to deliver success across everyone in the ecosystems meeting various needs. So we have facilitated wholesale business and sales with over 100 brands in 7 different industries that serve collectively 20,000 buyers, 20,000 doors are using the RepSpark system to create their B2B orders. And then on top of that, in our network, we're referring to our network as a community. There are over 1,500 sales reps, independent reps, some carrying multiple lines, that use the system to enter their orders and manage their customer relationships. And in addition, our operations within these brands that use the system daily to fulfill orders, integrate with their ERP system to make it efficient to collect payments and process customizations. Our system offers a lot of rich functionality across a number of different capabilities, from your website management, who can access it, what it should look like, what features that individual roles can, what permissions individual roles can have. It can manage your catalogs, your orders, your channel with your different buyers, what special pricing within your channel. It allows you to do and empowers you to manage your sales, and comes with a optional event management tool so that you could run a consumer site at the same time for specific items. So part 2 of our session together today is I'm going to walk through a sales rep demo, and then I'm going to turn it over to Megan, and she's going to walk through the buyer demo. So what I hope to show you during the sales rep demo is what it's like when a sales rep receives a call. Bob's his name. He receives a call from a customer asking to verify ATS. What a critical thing today when we know that stock is limited. So they're looking to fill an item for their customer, and I'm going to show you how the easy order system works inside RepSpark. So give me a minute and I'll open that up. Thank you. Great. During this presentation, please, you might have already been asked, if you have any questions, to please enter those into the chat box, and we'll have an opportunity to address those or to follow up with you afterwards. So as I sign into the platform, I have different permissions. I'm presented with a customized branded landing page. So Bob needs to book an order for the customer had called him and said, just get me 50 of that specific polo shirt. So you can easily, at Bob's fingertips, he can log into the system. He can use any of the online search capabilities. If he knew the SKU number, he could type that in, or I just typed into the search the word polo. And now the system has all the availability for the different polo shirts. So across this, the available to sell for this destined stripe is, you can see the on hand right here, there's 24 large, 1 extra large. I can look at a different view. We allow you to make this really user-friendly depending on which way you like to shop. So I can see these, and the customer asked me to order the dark blue, the destined stripe. So I'll open this. And I can easily go in now and look at this and verify this is what they told me. This is the product number. And I'm able to look at everything, the details and descriptions, and I'll go ahead and place that order for the 50 items. And while I'm getting this inventory on hold, this is a great time to let you know we've heard this from our customers that they're trying to get inventory rapidly from their suppliers. So this allows an easy way for you to do that. Now I'm able to go in and customize based on each client's configuration about their shipping needs and the order types, whether it's a pre-book that we're going to cover in a minute and then at time, and it allows you to place back orders and even do a purchase order. So for this order, I'm just going to make it really simple to do the easy order, and I'm going to pop right out. While I was doing that, I worked a little fast, but it's very easy to look at the entire available ATS across the system and find out what my price is for this item, do I have the item in stock? What's my order status? If I need to look up something. So to place this order now, I just hit proceed to review, and it's validated with the RepSpark business controls that you have set up, all the workflows. So this means that it follows everything, and I click it, and now the easy order is built. Since Bob created this order for the customer is going to receive an email notification. The notification is going to go to the operations officer, whoever else is in your workflow. So yeah, this is really cool. The easy order system makes it really fast. I can now have the capability to sell that same order to another store. I can print an order confirmation. The email notifications went out, and then the buyer or the sales rep, you can download the images associated with that order, so we could start to say this item is back in stock. Okay, great. I would like now to shift gears and turn the mic over to Megan, who's going to show how a customer can do the catalog order.
Great, thanks, Eric. And
thank you for waiting on me. Thanks.
All right, well, great. Yeah, so as Eric mentioned, I'm going to do the buyer portion of the site, but in showing this and starting, this is the community, so I'd be able to search for a specific brand that I'm looking for. I can search for something like just swimwear, categories, names, etc. So here I am in the community, and these are all the brands that I have access to as a buyer that I can go ahead and search, or again, I could be requesting access to new brands that I don't have access to. Upon clicking into that brand, I would be able to see exactly what that brand wants to show me to drive the buying process. So whether you as a brand want to put your catalogs or assortments or trending now, etc. As a buyer, I can now be guided through my buying journey. But to focus today, since we have so little time, I'm going to click into a catalog as a buyer. Now, this catalog could have been sent to me directly. This catalog could have been blasted out to me through our email campaign tool, or the catalog could be shared with me from one of my sales reps, and we can be walking through this catalog either virtually during a Zoom meeting, or we could be walking through this catalog together at an actual trade show event where, as a buyer, I have an iPad in front of me and I'm actually looking at the catalog and shopping it. A couple things about the catalog here. So again, it's completely digital, it's completely flexible, and it's always going to be up to date. So if pricing changes or products changes, etc., the catalog will be up to date and always ready for use. I can also search a catalog. So for example, if I wanted to search for a specific product like Phoebe here, I spelled it wrong, I can go ahead and search for that product. Within any of the products here, within the digital catalog, just as Eric showed on the products page, I'm able to see ATS, what's available now, as well as what's coming in the future. I can see the alternate colorways, and then also it's really great, you're able to show video directly into the catalog. So while a buyer is working through ordering and ordering processes, just in case you're not together in a booth actually seeing samples, this will give that buyer the best case of what those products might look like. So as a buyer here, I am ready to start working through my catalog. I'll put that up, it's a little distracting. I can start working through my catalog here. So depending on where I am in my buying process, I may be, again, at a trade show using this digital catalog on an iPad, and I'm not ready to actually start a cart yet. I just want to go ahead and start marking up my products like I used to in a physical catalog. So I can go ahead and start marking up my products. I could give it a full star, a half star. This is going to be my trade show choices. So I'm going to start my favorites list. And again, I'm going to start working through my products here. So I'm going to make this full screen again so we have a better view. And now I can start ranking my products. I can be adding them to my favorites list. If I have a top and I have a bottom here, maybe I want to give something a half star or full star. Maybe I want to go ahead and call something out. So loved how this fit. again, it allows that buyer to have the same type of access and functionality that they used to have when they were working through a physical catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out a favorite list here and work through my product. So that's kind of one way that a buyer can use the digital catalog for shopping. Now, if I'm actually ready to shop, or I come into a trade show event and I know my different delivery dates that I already have, I'm very, ready to go, if you want to say it like that, I can actually start shopping the product with adding to carts. So I'm going to use my bag portion now, and I'm going to set up my bag. So this is going to be for my spring 2022 buy. And I know that I want a delivery date on February 7th. I want a delivery date on April or March 31st, and I want my last delivery date for my spring product to come in at the end of April. So I'm going to go ahead and start my bag here. And now it's really easy to shop, almost like using a favorites, but now I'm able to add product to my different deliveries here. So again, now I'm using the bag instead of the star, and I can add my product. I can also add my product here to my different dates. So I could add this to all 3 dates. Going into the black one, I could also add it with quantities. So if I know exactly the size scale or something like that, I can go ahead and add it that way as well. So it gives that buyer, myself as a buyer, tons of flexibility. Am I adding to a cart? Do I know my dates? How do I want to add this to an order? Do I already know my size scales for all of these different products, etc.? And it allows me to really work that catalog. Or again, maybe I'm at a point where I just want to go ahead and make a favorites list. I'm going to go back to the beginning of this catalog real quick as well, because there's also a table of contents. So let's say I just want to go into accessories or into different deliveries or something like that, all of my core products. I can click directly into those products and start to add it that way as well. So beginning of the season, I'm going to use a white. I'm going to add my black in as well here, maybe my middle, etc. So again, start working the catalog. And with here, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my bag. So if I went into my favorites list, I could do that. It would give me my curated selections from my catalogs. From there, I can create an order form, or I can create an export of my favorites. So I know exactly what I liked. I know the notes that I gave them. I know the rating of the star. That's always there for my review as a buyer. And I can go ahead and place an order from that favorites list. Or I can go into this where I now am in a multi-date order. So here's all my product that I had added to each of the different delivery dates as I was working through that catalog. And here I have a couple different things that I can do. So I can go ahead and make this view bigger. I can make all of my images bigger. I can start to move my images around. So perhaps I wanted to make sure that, all my blacks were together, etc. Those are moving really weird right now, probably because I'm videoing. So I can start to do that. I can also see where there may be a gap. So it looks like I have a lot of white and black here. So maybe I want to start to add some colors. So I can go through my catalog over here, and I can add, maybe I want to add this mustard colored one here to my cart as well. Also here, it's always going to tell me my total styles, units, when something's available, etc. And if I wanted to go ahead and enter quantity, I can do that as well. Or if I want more information, hey, I really liked this, maybe what other colorways did it come in? Okay, I'm actually ready to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and update my cart here. So as you can see, I now have 15 units with a total dollars for that specific style as well. If I wanted this really, really clean and I didn't really care about all this other information, I can also go in and just say, okay, maybe I want my total units and price. I don't want availability, any of this stuff. I would just want to make it really clean, but I want to know how many I've ordered of each of the styles. So it's a really great way to work with a multi-date board, a multi-delivery board. Again, making sure that you're not missing anything, you don't have a product gap. Again, maybe this one I'm seeing way too many whites, so I want to go ahead and delete that one out, etc. And it will always change the styles and units. I can move things. I can really start playing with this multi-date board. Maybe I want to add this Topanga dress. I really like that, as well as the red cypress dress. And I want to go ahead and add those to my March delivery. So again, really easy way to work with the catalogs and visually see my line represented. This is always also a great way as a buyer, again, to make sure I'm not having any gaps in my product assortments for each of these deliveries. And then once I'm done, I look good. I can see all of my totals. I can click right in and open my cart and go ahead and place my order. Everything looks great. This all looks good. It'll tell me if I haven't entered my quantities. So on these two I had, but the other one I hadn't, etc. And I can go ahead, copy and paste. I can do a size scale. So if I had a size scale here and I wanted 20 units, I could calculate that out. I can also always copy. So if I have a couple different lines, I want my exact same size scale, I could paste that to my size scale, etc. And obviously you're going to see your ATS, what's available now. And then anything with the infinity line, that's telling me, hey, I can order away. I'm not limited by ATS in this style. Go ahead and finish my order. Or if I always wanted to go back and reorder my order, I can always go back to this merch view again and play with my multiple date board here. Especially once my products get delivered to the store, I'm now able to share those and let everybody know what my product assortment looked like. And Eric, I will swing it back to you.
Thank you, Megan. Okay. Great. Now I would like to share with you how you can acquire the software. So we offer three different plans, three different success plans for the software as a service application. So RepSpark is delivered bundled with all the license and support. It starts out at a very low price of $499 per month for 3 users. That would get a small and emerging brand all of the features of customer interaction, bulk ordering, facilitating and creating orders between reps and customers entering their own orders, and the full digital catalog. And then we offer 2 additional plans to suit the needs of more complex implementations with pre-built connectors to make it easy to plug in your third-party ERP systems. The Accelerate also comes standard with a Shopify connector. So we'd be happy at this time right now. Thank you all for sticking with us to the end. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And all of them are, any questions are open. The patent office is still open. So please fire away.
Susan, are you seeing any questions in the chat there?
No, I am not seeing any.
Okay.
All right, so with that, we're at 10 o'clock.
All right, well, it looks like everyone might be good today, or you could go ahead and raise your hand and we can unmute you if you do have a question.
Okay, great.
Oh, I saw one come in, Eric. How long does it typically take if you're on Apparel Magic or some other ERP like that?
Oh, super. Yep, I saw that in the chat. Okay, the typical implementation time frame for RepSpark implementation is as quick as a couple of hours for our Accelerate customers, and an Apparel Magic customer could utilize our pre-built interface and allowing time for customizations for their specific setup in their Apparel Magic environments. We can get that live rapidly in 30 days. A brand new ERP system can take a little longer, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, but we have through testing and through setup, your Apparel Magic RepSpark system can be live in 30 days.
Eric, another one's coming in with a question about NetSuite. Same question.
Great. With yeah, we serve NetSuite customers today. We have several brands that are using RepSpark with NetSuite, and they're making their inventory available, which really is an advantage because some of our competitors in this space aren't able to show the future inventory and therefore buyers can't pre-order for the future inventory when they're on a competitor system. But with RepSpark, we directly integrate into NetSuite's future inventory for the different drop dates. So customers that have that need can use RepSpark in a better way. That system can be implemented together with your NetSuite partner in as short as 6 to 8 weeks.
I have another question here. What does the Shopify integration look like, and can you populate from Shopify?
Yeah. Super question. We've worked with customers to make it really easy to plug into their existing Shopify consumer site. What's involved in that is integrating and syncing all of your customer information, your images that you have set up, and then specifying in Shopify which of those images are for your wholesale channel. And also which customers can order on your site in RepSpark. The integration then is simply adding the permission for RepSpark with a URL, an API key into, it's an easy setup. It's like connecting your bank to an application. So that's all that's required to technically set it up. And then the business setup that I mentioned would be adding tags to your products and customers in Shopify. But we've made it really easy to set it up, and our customer success team has documented along the way all of the steps, guides, and tips to make it fast to set up your Shopify account with RepSpark.
Here's one, Eric. Do you accept credit cards on checkout?
Yeah, we hear that from our customers, and we've responded. RepSpark is a digital system, so it allows you to have your customers set up for either terms or credit card checkout. And we've pre-integrated the software to work with a various number of the industry leaders in payment, from Stripe, Adyen, and Authorize.net, which is Visa. And at checkout, the customer can enter their credit card information when they're placing their order, making it really simple for you to collect that card information. And it's all stored in the third-party provider's cloud, so you're not collecting it and having to deal with PCI compliance. So yeah, credit card payments, absolutely.
Also, do you have bulk ordering capabilities?
Yes, that's the best kind. No, absolutely. So bulk order capabilities, and you may be talking about having special price promotions and minimum order quantities. So those things are typically configured during your setup by our professional services consultant. So if there's 1,000 quantity limit or enough to put on a pallet, we absolutely can accommodate that. And depending on your specific sales strategies, whether there's cost differences involved or discounts or markdowns for that. So yeah, our system accommodates your various pricing schemes and promotion schemes.
Eric, do you charge for buyers using the platform?
Oh yeah, great question. Those 20,000 buyers that are in the network right now are not being charged. The pricing model, and you asked a great question, like what would this cost? The pricing model is set up so that there's only a user fee for your sales reps, operations folks, and your administrators. Your customer buyers, the retailers, and your dealers, there's no charge for them. And in the future, with the upcoming release of Community, we'll have a mechanism in place that you can set up your brand to reach more buyers and be easily discovered by more buyers while they're in the system.
Great. Susan, are you seeing any other come in?
No, those are my questions from here.
Great. Please tune back in to a future meeting with us, because I want to go through and show you and highlight the capabilities of our sales forecasting module that allows you to look at your top selling products, how your reps are performing to plan, and really allow you to get your arms around your future book of business to look for key trends And then we also want to show you our events module, which will empower you to create a B2C type site to support various programs with your customers and offer it as a value added service. So we have two more things to show you in the next meeting. So please look for other emails coming out your way.
Great. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We appreciate your time. And as Eric said, we'll be focusing on different topics and features and functionality, trying to keep it to 30 minutes each time. So we thank you so much for joining.
Take care, everyone.